Hey, this is the Entertainment Advice channel. What I want to talk about today is Olivia Rodrigo. And what I want to talk about for Olivia Rodrigo is the question of, is she overrated or not? Okay? So I will, for this video, explain in a simple and straightforward way if she is overrated or not, that anyone who might not be extremely familiar with the topic can understand it. So anyway, now that I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of, is Olivia Rodrigo overrated or not, the simple answer to the question is yes, she is overrated. Because the truth of the matter is, when it comes to her music, which I notice you can branch it off into two main types, okay? Slow music, like slow playing, slow talking music, or secondly, her more upbeat sounding music or something. You can literally frame her music into two distinct categories for it. And the truth of the matter is, when it comes to those particular categories, of music she is doing, none of them has anything special about them that really makes her special anyway. Now, am I saying that she's a bad musician? No. Am I saying that she is not talented? No. But I'm just going to be quite blunt with you. None of her music sounds amazing, even from an objective perspective. It's just simply mid music that is created, because you've heard music that sounds like that numerous times before. Because the truth of the matter is about her music, particularly, let's just get to one of the brackets of the music. The main bracket that obviously everyone likes, the more upbeat guitar sounding, rock sounding sound that she obviously has for her more upbeat music. The truth of the matter is, all that music just sounds generic. It doesn't sound anything special. It's just another simply corporate nostalgia bait cash grab that they are obviously going for. Because the truth of the matter is, especially being someone who actually grew up through that era and can remember it quite well, it sounds like something you used to hear all the time throughout the 2000s, okay? Whether the early 2000s to late 2000s, okay? Nothing special, nothing amazing, just generic sounds, okay? Nothing special. And even by today's standards, it sounds nothing special at all, for that matter, okay? Especially for music that's nostalgia bait music that a lot of these big companies and stuff are making, okay, for that matter, okay? Nothing special, nothing amazing, just the same old, to be quite honest with you. As a matter of fact, it sounds like something when you are actually gathered with your family members, you would hear in the background of your local Applebee's or something. Nothing special, nothing amazing, just a generic same crap you've heard so many times before, it's not even funny, okay? And that's the truth about her music. Nothing special, nothing different, just the same stuff you've heard before. And that is the truth of the matter about it. And it's maybe not necessarily completely her fault, because obviously this whole nostalgia trend is becoming popular and she's a part of a big company, so they might be forcing her to obviously, of course, no surprise here, make music sound a certain particular way. So it might not necessarily be her fault. And I think it's also the fault of nostalgia bait, because when you make music that's meant to sound nostalgic, obviously if you're using sounds and stuff that have been used before, then obviously you're going to have a lot of your new music sound like something someone else has created, which is the problem with this nostalgia sound that they constantly keep on pushing all the time. It's actually very problematic. Nostalgia is not something you want to look for when you're making music, and of course, particularly being specific, to be more exact, new music. It's not something you want to do, as it's just problematic because it just simply encourages you to make something that sounds like someone else has created. Aside from the fact that it also of course can kind of help people remember maybe memories that, let's just say, are not the greatest. But anyway, aside from that, the main point of the matter is her music in general is not really that great. It's not bad, it's not terrible, but it's just standard pop music you hear all the time, especially nowadays. I will give her credit though, her voice is a bit distinct from everyone else's. That's one thing I'll give her credit for, at least if anything. But when it comes to the beat, whether it's a more upbeat guitar rock sounding music or the slow playing, slow piano sounding stuff, it both sounds like something. One sounds like something you'd hear in the background at your local store, the rock sounding one, and the other one, the slower sounding piano type sound with her slow voice and her slow piano playing, sounds like something you would hear in a commercial. The only thing it's missing is a ukulele. If it were to do that, it literally could be the perfect example of commercial music that, if anything, could be even used for study at your local commercial school, for that matter, or let alone university, for anyone who's studying how to make commercials and stuff. Like, it's just generic. It's just nothing that great or special or anything. Even if you make the argument, well, not everyone wants to make something revolutionary and this and that. Not everyone wants to make music talking about revolution, and this and that. And yes, to be fair, I understand that argument. But even in terms of entertainment, like, there's nothing groundbreaking about her. Like, you can have someone whose main focus for their music is entertainment and they're groundbreaking. Whether it could be someone like Michael Jackson, whether it could be someone like Whitney Houston, whether it could be someone like 50 Cent, their music is clearly meant for entertainment, but you can tell that they're breaking boundaries because they're using sounds no one's used before, and their style to the topics they talk about is what no one at the time at least was kind of doing before, so they stand out from the crowd. But these new generation of artists don't do any of that. They're just simply all kind of sound the same, and it's the same stuff, same generic stuff. And this is the problem with music. It's not even bad. Like, at least when it's bad, at least you can make the argument so bad it's funny. But no, it's none of that. It's just mid. It's just generic music. And that's the problem with Olivia Rodrigo. She's an example of that. She's just mid, standard, generic musician you've heard a million times before, and that's really the problem with her. Okay, alongside this nostalgia sound, why do you want to make music that sounds like something that was made years ago? Create new memories, create new experiences, move on. Focusing on, I want the music to sound like something from the 2000s to recapture the greatness of that era. No, why do you need to do that? Move on from that. There's a lot of things that happened in 2000s. I can tell you, man. I'm gonna keep it real. Not even just being a minority, but anyone for that matter that used to happen back then. I don't think anyone really wants to remember. Besides, most of us who are millennials had baby boomers as parents, and I'm gonna tell you, man, there are some memories, collectively speaking, of course, for us millennials. There are some memories that just say, I think are best left forgotten, okay? That is the truth of the matter, okay? With experiences a lot of us had with our parents, for that matter, okay? So that goes along with my point. Why do you want to make music that talks about nostalgia? Move on. Create new memories, go new places, meet new people. That's how I see it. Trying to create nostalgia bait just helps you remind you of bad experiences. I'm not saying there weren't good experiences in the 2000s. There definitely was, but there's also people and just situations you just kind of want to forget, and that's a problem with it. And that also not only does it limit the sound for does it of course stall of course your ability to move forward. Like I was saying before, it also limits music variety. It makes it more likely you hear a song that's been made before already, and it stagnates the music and makes the music more boring and less interesting, and focus on topics that are kind of old, and and instead of creating something fresh and new. So anyway, that's what I have to say about this video, about this particular topic. So just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, remember to sum this video up and hit this and subscribe to my channel. And this is all to say, I hope you enjoyed this video. And simply put it, if you want good music, start supporting musicians online that focus on your style, because this new generation of musicians you hear on the radio are all the same. They're not going to change. It's the same crap, same this, same that. Nothing's going to change. The same old, same old, same old. So anyway, this is all I have to say for this video. And simply put it, I'm out. So bye.